Narcissism. It's a word we hear often these days, but what does it really mean? Simply put, narcissism is a personality trait marked by an inflated sense of self-importance. Narcissists crave admiration and lack empathy for others. They see the world as revolving around them. Their needs and desires take center stage. Imagine a person constantly seeking praise, even for the smallest achievements. This is a hallmark of narcissism. They might exaggerate their accomplishments, downplay others' successes, and feel entitled to special treatment. This inflated ego often masks deep-seated insecurities and vulnerabilities. However, it's crucial to remember that not everyone who displays some narcissistic traits has narcissistic personality disorder. This is a clinical diagnosis requiring a specific set of criteria. We all have moments of self-centeredness, but true narcissism is pervasive and impacts every aspect of a person's life. Recognizing the difference is crucial for effective interaction.
In today's world, it seems narcissism is on the rise. Social media, with its focus on self-promotion and validation seeking, might be a contributing factor. Reality TV often glorifies narcissistic behavior, normalizing it for younger generations. However, it's important to approach this perceived rise with caution. While social media can amplify certain behaviors, it doesn't necessarily create them. Narcissism is a complex issue with roots in genetics, upbringing, and societal influences. It's more likely that we're simply more aware of narcissistic traits now than in the past. Open discussions about mental health and personality disorders have reduced stigma. This increased awareness is a positive development, leading to more research and resources for understanding and coping with narcissism. However, it's crucial to avoid labeling everyone who displays some narcissistic traits as having a disorder. This can be misleading and counterproductive. Understanding narcissism is not about labeling or judging others. It's about equipping ourselves with the tools to navigate challenging relationships effectively. We all encounter narcissists in our lives, at work, in our families, or even in our social circles. Knowing how to identify and respond to their behavior is crucial for our own well-being. Imagine being in a relationship with a narcissistic partner. Their constant need for admiration and lack of empathy can be emotionally draining. Or consider working under a narcissistic boss who takes credit for your ideas and belittles your contributions. These situations can significantly impact our self-esteem and mental health. By understanding the motivations and tactics of narcissists, we can protect ourselves from their manipulative behavior. We can learn to set healthy boundaries, communicate assertively, and prioritize our own needs. Awareness empowers us to take control of these interactions and minimize their negative impact. We live in a world that often rewards narcissistic traits. From the pursuit of fame and fortune to the competitive nature of many industries, self-promotion and ambition are often celebrated. This can make it challenging to discern healthy confidence from unhealthy narcissism. Learning to identify the nuances of narcissistic behavior is essential. It's about understanding the difference between someone who is assertive and someone who is exploitative. It's about recognizing the line between self-belief and a grandiose sense of self-importance. This journey of understanding starts with education. By learning about the traits, motivations, and psychological underpinnings of narcissism, we can approach these individuals with greater awareness. This knowledge equips us to protect ourselves, set boundaries, and navigate these complex relationships with greater confidence and resilience. Narcissists are masters of first impressions. They can be incredibly charming and engaging initially. They draw you in with wit, confidence, and interest. This charm is a strategy to win admiration. However, this facade often masks a deeper reality. Over time, the mask slips, revealing less appealing traits. Pay attention to red flags and not be blinded by initial allure. At the core of narcissism lies a profound need for admiration. Narcissists have an insatiable desire to be seen as superior, special, and deserving of constant praise. This need stems from a fragile sense of self-worth and a deep-seated insecurity that they try to mask with their grandiose facade. Imagine a person who constantly steers conversations towards their accomplishments, no matter how small or insignificant. They might exaggerate their achievements, downplay the contributions of others, or seek validation for even the most mundane tasks. This insatiable need for attention can be exhausting for those around them. This hunger for admiration often manifests in their relationships. They might surround themselves with people they deem inferior, using them as a source of constant praise and validation. They might also engage in competitive behavior, feeling threatened by the successes of others and constantly needing to prove their superiority. It's important to remember that this need for admiration is not about genuine confidence or self-esteem. It's a desperate attempt to fill an inner void, a bottomless pit of insecurity that no amount of external validation can truly satisfy. One of the most striking characteristics of a narcissist is their profound lack of empathy. They have a limited ability to understand or share the feelings of others. This lack of empathy is not a choice. It's a core deficit that shapes their interactions and relationships. Imagine trying to share your feelings with someone who immediately turns the conversation back to themselves. They might interrupt you, minimize your experiences, or offer unsolicited advice that centers around their own perspectives. This inability to truly listen and empathize can be incredibly isolating and hurtful. This lack of empathy often leads to a disregard for the needs and boundaries of others. Narcissists might prioritize their own desires above all else, expecting others to accommodate their needs without consideration. They might manipulate or exploit others to get what they want, often without any remorse or guilt. Understanding this fundamental lack of empathy is crucial for interacting with narcissists. It helps to adjust your expectations and avoid taking their behavior personally. Trying to appeal to their empathy or expecting them to understand your feelings is often futile and can lead to further frustration. Section 4. The Art of Manipulation. Narcissists are often skilled manipulators. They use a variety of tactics to control others and get what they want. They might resort to guilt trips, emotional blackmail, or playing the victim to elicit sympathy and attention. Their goal is to keep you off balance and maintain their position of power in the relationship. Imagine being in a relationship where you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells. You might censor your words, avoid expressing your needs, or go to great lengths to please your partner, fearing their disapproval or anger. This is a common experience for those involved with a narcissist. Narcissists often use gaslighting as a manipulation tactic. They might deny your reality, twist facts, or make you question your own sanity. This can leave you feeling confused, doubting your own perceptions, and more dependent on the narcissist for validation. It's crucial to recognize these manipulation tactics and understand that you are not to blame for their behavior. Educating yourself about narcissistic manipulation can empower you to identify these patterns and develop strategies for protecting yourself. Section 5. The Blame Game. Narcissists have an uncanny ability to deflect responsibility and shift blame onto others. They rarely take accountability for their actions or apologize sincerely. When confronted with criticism or negative feedback, they are likely to become defensive, make excuses, or turn the tables on the accuser. Imagine pointing out a mistake to a narcissist. Instead of acknowledging their error, they might blame you for not explaining things clearly enough, accuse you of being too sensitive, or bring up past mistakes you've made to deflect from their own. This pattern of blame shifting can be incredibly frustrating and damaging to relationships. This inability to accept responsibility stems from their fragile ego and their need to maintain a perfect image of themselves. Admitting fault or apologizing would threaten this carefully constructed facade, leading to feelings of shame and vulnerability that they desperately avoid. Understanding this tendency to shift blame can help you navigate interactions with narcissists more effectively. It's essential to set clear boundaries, avoid engaging in arguments that go nowhere, and focus on protecting yourself from their emotional manipulation. Section 6. The Cycle of Idealization and Devaluation. Relationships with narcissists follow a cycle of idealization and devaluation. Initially, you experience intense admiration and attention. They put you on a pedestal, showering you with compliments. This love-bombing phase creates a strong emotional bond. However, it's rarely based on a genuine understanding of you. As the relationship progresses, the narcissist's true colors show. The initial charm fades and criticisms begin. You might feel like you can never do anything right. This devaluation phase is incredibly painful and confusing. Remember, this cycle is inherent to narcissism, not your worthiness. Section 7. Recognizing narcissism in different relationships. Narcissism manifests differently across relationships. In romantic relationships, narcissists exhibit possessiveness and control. They isolate you from friends and family. Emotional manipulation and gaslighting are common. Narcissistic parents show favoritism, causing sibling rivalry. They criticize one child while idealizing another. At work, narcissistic bosses take credit for your ideas. This creates a toxic, competitive environment. Nature versus nurture. The roots of ego are complex, shaped by both genetics and environment. It's a delicate interplay of nature and nurture. Think of it like baking a cake. Ingredients and conditions both matter. Early experiences and social influences are crucial. Section 2. Early experiences, the shaping of a narcissist. Imagine a child growing up with their emotional needs ignored. They might suppress their true feelings, developing a false self. This need for validation can drive narcissistic tendencies. Overindulgence can lead to an inflated sense of self-importance. Early experiences within the family shape personality and susceptibility to narcissism. Understanding these influences provides insights into narcissistic behavior. One way to understand narcissism is through the lens of defense mechanisms. Defense mechanisms are psychological strategies we unconsciously use to protect ourselves from emotional pain, anxiety, and threats to our self-esteem. They serve as a buffer, shielding us from feelings of vulnerability and inadequacy. In the case of narcissists, their grandiose sense of self-importance and their need for admiration can be viewed as a defense against deep-seated feelings of insecurity and inferiority. By creating a facade of superiority, they attempt to mask these painful emotions and maintain a sense of control over their world. Imagine a person who constantly boasts about their achievements, even when those achievements are minor or exaggerated. They might belittle others, criticize their accomplishments, or go to great lengths to be the center of attention. These behaviors, while often perceived as arrogant or self-centered, can stem from a place of deep-seated insecurity. By understanding narcissism as a defense mechanism, we can approach these individuals with greater compassion and empathy. Their behavior, while often hurtful and frustrating, is often a reflection of their own internal struggles and their desperate attempts to cope with emotional pain. The self-psychology model, developed by psychoanalyst Heinz Kohut, offers another perspective on narcissism. This model emphasizes the importance of early childhood experiences in shaping a healthy sense of self. According to Kohut, all children have narcissistic needs, a need to feel loved, admired, and valued by their caregivers. When these needs are met consistently and empathetically, the child develops a healthy sense of self-esteem and self-worth. However, when these needs are frustrated or neglected, the child's development can be disrupted, leading to narcissistic vulnerabilities. Their grandiose behavior and need for attention can be seen as attempts to compensate for these early deficits. In today's digital age, social media's influence on narcissistic traits is undeniable. Platforms emphasizing self-promotion and online validation can amplify and reward narcissistic tendencies. Social media can create a distorted sense of reality where individuals feel pressured to present a perfect image, masking insecurities. However, it's important to remember that social media doesn't create narcissism, but can provide a platform for these tendencies to flourish. Societal shifts towards individualism and entitlement might contribute to the rise of narcissism. In a world emphasizing self-promotion and material success, narcissistic traits might be inadvertently reinforced. This emphasis on individual achievement can create an environment where narcissistic tendencies thrive. Social and cultural influences shape our values and behaviors, but but it's challenging to determine their exact impact on personality disorders like narcissism. It's crucial to remember that narcissism exists on a spectrum. Not everyone with narcissistic traits has narcissistic personality disorder, a clinical diagnosis requiring specific criteria. On one end, individuals might have mild narcissistic tendencies that don't significantly impair their relationships or daily functioning. On the other end, narcissistic personality disorder involves a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. Recognizing the spectrum of narcissism allows for a more nuanced understanding and helps tailor our interactions accordingly. Dealing with a narcissist can feel like navigating a minefield. It's crucial to remember that you can't change a narcissist. They are deeply entrenched in their behavior, driven by insecurities and a need for validation. Trying to reason with them or appeal to their empathy is often futile. This realization frees you from the burden of trying to fix them. Your goal should shift to managing the situation and protecting yourself. Set boundaries to protect yourself and prioritize your own emotional health. It's about empowering yourself to thrive despite their behavior. The power of detachment. Choosing your battles wisely. Detachment means recognizing that you are not responsible for their happiness or reactions. Think of it like watching a play. Observe without getting emotionally entangled. This requires a conscious effort to disengage from their attempts to provoke or manipulate you. Let go of the need to be right or to convince them of your perspective. Choosing your battles wisely is key. Ask yourself if the issue is worth your time and energy. By learning to detach, you reclaim your power and create emotional space for yourself. Boundaries, the unsung heroes of healthy relationships. Boundaries are essential, especially when dealing with a narcissist. They define what you will and will not tolerate. Think of boundaries as fences around your property, preventing others from trespassing. Emotional boundaries protect your sense of self and well-being. Setting boundaries with a narcissist can be challenging, but it's crucial to stand firm. Clearly communicate your limits and follow through with consequences when boundaries are crossed. This helps protect your emotional and mental space. The art of assertive communication. Finding your voice. Assertive communication is about expressing your needs clearly and respectfully. Use I statements to express your thoughts and feelings. Assertive communication is not about attacking or blaming, but about setting clear expectations. Remember, you have a right to express your thoughts and feelings. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself and set boundaries. No fuel zone, starving the ego of attention. Narcissists thrive on attention, whether positive or negative. By withholding attention, you can diminish their ability to control and manipulate. Avoid getting drawn into arguments or their drama. Recognize that their behavior is often a desperate attempt to elicit a reaction. By refusing to play their game, you take back your power. This doesn't mean you ignore them completely, but choose not to engage in a way that feeds their ego. Protect your well-being by not giving them the attention they crave. Gray rock technique, blending in to stand out. The gray rock technique is about becoming emotionally unresponsive and uninteresting to the narcissist. Imagine yourself as a smooth, gray rock, unremarkable and blending into the background. Keep your responses brief, factual, and devoid of emotional content. Avoid engaging in personal conversations or expressing strong opinions. The gray rock technique helps disengage from the narcissist's attempts to provoke or manipulate you. By becoming emotionally unresponsive, you take away their power. Managing expectations. Accepting the reality of narcissism. It's crucial to accept the reality of who they are, their limitations and patterns. This doesn't mean you condone their behavior, but accept that you cannot force them to change. Acceptance is a crucial step towards detaching from the situation. Focus on what you can control, your choices, boundaries, and well-being. By managing your expectations, you free yourself from the burden of hoping for something that might never happen. The importance of self-care, replenishing your reserves. Every interaction with a narcissist depletes your emotional reserves. Self-care is about refilling that glass, replenishing your energy. It's essential for survival, especially in narcissistic relationships. Engage in activities that nourish your soul and reduce stress. Make self-care a non-negotiable part of your routine. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself allows you to show up with greater strength and compassion. Recognizing the impact, the toll of narcissistic abuse. Acknowledge the impact of narcissistic abuse on your mental and emotional health. Being in a relationship with a narcissist can be incredibly draining. You might experience confusion, self-doubt, anxiety, and depression. These are common reactions to narcissistic abuse. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or support group. Sharing your experiences can help you process your emotions and gain perspective. Recognizing the impact is the first step towards healing and reclaiming your life. Building a support system, finding your tribe. A strong support system provides strength and resilience. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and validate your experiences. Seek out friends, family members, support groups, or therapists who understand narcissism. Sharing your experiences can help you gain perspective and reduce feelings of isolation. Building a support system is about having a safe space to process your emotions and gain strength from those who care about your well-being. Section 4. Reclaiming your power, from victim to survivor. Dealing with a narcissist can leave you feeling powerless, like your voice has been stolen and your sense of self diminished. Reclaiming your power is about shifting your mindset from victim to survivor, recognizing that you have the strength and resilience to navigate this challenge and create a brighter future for yourself. This starts with recognizing that you are not defined by the narcissist's actions or opinions. Their behavior is a reflection of their own issues, not your worthiness. Remember your inherent value, your strengths, your passions, everything that makes you uniquely you. Focus on what you can control, your choices, your reactions, your boundaries. Choose to focus on your own healing, your own growth, your own happiness. Invest in yourself, pursue your passions, and reconnect with activities that bring you joy. Reclaiming your power is a journey, not a destination. It's about taking back control of your life, one step at a time, and embracing the strength and resilience you never knew you had. It's about shifting your focus from the pain of the past to the possibilities of the future. Section 1. The power of perspective. When to seek professional help. Dealing with a narcissist can be emotionally taxing. Sometimes, seeking professional help is crucial for your well-being. Think of it like a persistent physical ailment. Professional guidance can provide invaluable support and clarity. Seeking help is a sign of strength and self-awareness. Section 2. Navigating the therapy landscape. Finding the right fit. Embarking on the journey of therapy can feel daunting, especially when dealing with the complexities of narcissistic abuse. Finding a therapist who is experienced in navigating these dynamics is crucial for a successful and empowering therapeutic experience. Think of finding a therapist like finding a trusted guide for a challenging hike. You want someone knowledgeable about the terrain, who can anticipate obstacles, offer support, and guide you towards your destination safely. Similarly, a therapist experienced in narcissistic abuse can provide invaluable support and guidance as you navigate the emotional complexities of these relationships. Look for therapists who specialize in personality disorders, narcissistic abuse, or trauma recovery. They will have a deeper understanding of the dynamics involved and can offer tailored strategies for coping, setting boundaries, and healing from the emotional impact of these relationships. Don't hesitate to ask potential therapists about their experience. their approach to therapy, and whether they feel equipped to support you in addressing the specific challenges you're facing. It's essential to feel comfortable, heard, and understood by your therapist to foster a trusting and therapeutic relationship. Section 3. Resources and support. You are not alone. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There are countless resources available to provide support, information, and a sense of community as you navigate the challenges of dealing with a narcissist. Online support groups and forums can be invaluable resources, offering a platform to connect with others who understand your experiences firsthand. Sharing your story in a safe and supportive environment can be incredibly validating and empowering, reminding you that you are not alone in your struggles. Many websites and organizations dedicated to narcissistic abuse offer a wealth of information, including articles, podcasts, and educational materials. These resources can provide valuable insights into the dynamics of narcissism, helping you understand the patterns, motivations, and potential impact of these relationships. Books written by therapists and survivors of narcissistic abuse can also be incredibly helpful. These personal accounts and professional insights can offer validation, coping strategies, and hope for healing and recovery. Remember, knowledge is power, and educating yourself about narcissism is a crucial step towards protecting yourself and reclaiming your life. As we conclude this exploration of narcissism, it's crucial to remember that knowledge is power. Understanding the intricacies of this personality trait, its roots, and its manifestations empowers us to navigate challenging relationships with greater awareness and resilience. It's like having a map to guide us through unfamiliar territory, helping us anticipate obstacles and make informed decisions. Remember, we can't change a narcissist. Trying to reason with their ego or appeal to their empathy is often an exercise in futility, leaving us feeling frustrated and depleted. However, we can change how we respond to them. By understanding their patterns, motivations, and tactics, we can choose our battles wisely and protect ourselves from their manipulative behavior. This journey of understanding begins with self-reflection. Are there patterns in our own lives that attract narcissistic individuals? Do we have unresolved childhood wounds that make us more susceptible to their manipulations? By examining our own vulnerabilities, we can break free from unhealthy relationship patterns and create healthier connections. Imagine building a fortress around your heart and mind. Self-care and boundaries protect your emotional well-being. Self-care is essential for survival, especially in toxic relationships. Think of self-care as a daily ritual, a commitment to your well-being. Boundaries are invisible lines protecting our space. Stand firm and enforce boundaries consistently. As we move forward, armed with knowledge and self-awareness, we can approach interactions with narcissists with greater clarity and confidence. We can choose to engage strategically, setting firm boundaries, utilizing assertive communication, and deploying techniques like the gray rock method to minimize conflict and protect our emotional well-being. Remember, we don't have to engage in every battle. Choosing our battles wisely means asking ourselves whether an issue is worth our time, energy, and emotional investment. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. By refusing to engage in their drama, we reclaim our power and create emotional space for ourselves. It's crucial to manage our expectations. Hoping a narcissist will suddenly change or have an epiphany is often a recipe for disappointment and heartache. Accepting the reality of who they are, with their limitations and their inability to truly meet our emotional needs, is a crucial step towards detaching from the situation and focusing on our own well-being. Dealing with a narcissist can be a challenging and often painful experience. It can test our patience, challenge our sense of self, and leave us feeling emotionally drained. However, it can also be an opportunity for profound personal growth and transformation. Emerging from the shadow of a narcissist's influence, we often discover a strength and resilience we never knew we possessed. We learn to set boundaries, prioritize our well-being, and advocate for our needs. We develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, our values, and the qualities we seek, in genuine, healthy relationships. Remember, you are not defined by the actions or opinions of a narcissist. Their behavior is a reflection of their own internal struggles, not your worthiness. Embrace the lessons learned, celebrate your strength, and move forward with the knowledge that you are capable of creating a brighter, more fulfilling future for yourself. A future filled with authentic connections, genuine love, and unwavering self-respect.